Okay, this is Unit 4 Introduction, second part, or video number 2. So we're on to a new rule, which is quotient. Remember, quotient means divide. So you might want to put that divide symbol there. And this is our rule. B to the n divided by b to the m. Keep the base, subtract the exponents. So little trick to help you remember here. Division makes things smaller, so I want to subtract the exponents. So here's an example, x to the fourth divided by x squared. Keep the base, subtract the exponents. In this case, my bigger exponent is on the top, so my answer will be on the top. Let me add a 1 there. So your answer always goes where the bigger exponent is. So one strategy is when you're dividing, find the bigger exponent. That's where your base is going to go. Bigger exponent on the top, base goes on the top, and then I minus big from little. So I end up with x to the second power. So what is the important characteristic here? You're subtracting the exponents. And let's just write a couple little reminders to find largest exponent, circle it, okay, and then answer goes where big exponent was. So let me just go over that again. I'm going to do a different type of example where my big exponent is on the bottom. So this is division, and what I say is circle the biggest exponent. Notice it's in the denominator, so my solution's going to go in the denominator. Or when I keep the base, I'm going to keep it on the bottom. And then I'm still going to minus big exponent minus little. And in this one I need to add a 1 on the top. So this would be 1 over x to the third. Okay? Once again, couldn't come up with a non-example, so we're going to skip that. Alright, so let's take a look here. Coefficients, I'm just going to divide those, 16 times 4. So I'm going to draw a fraction here, and then I'm going to circle for my base x. 5 is my bigger exponent. I'm going to add my invisible 1. And for base y, 4 is my bigger exponent. Okay, and you can see this works for your coefficients too. 16 is bigger than 4, so when I do 16 divided by 4, my answer goes where my bigger number was. Now, x to the fifth is circled, so my x answer is going to be on the bottom, and I'm going to have 5 minus 3. I circled y to the fourth on the top, so my y base is going to go on top, and it's going to be 4 minus 1. So this all simplifies into 4 y to the third over x squared. Okay. When we have power to a power and division, we want to do the exponents or the parentheses first up here. So my first step is going to be 3 to the second power, 9. Power to the power on the base a would be 7 times 2, so 14. B to the second raised to the second again would become b to the fourth over 12, a to the fourth, b to the eighth. Now I'm going to do my quotient rule, do my division. 2 base a's, there's the bigger exponent. 2 base b's, there's the bigger exponent. Okay, I'm going to draw my line. 9/12 can be simplified. 9 divided by 3 is 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4. My a base is going to go on top, and I'm going to have 14 minus 4. My b base is going to go on the bottom, and I'm going to have 8 minus 4. So I end up with 3/4 a to the 10, b to the fourth. Okay, so now once again, how do I know I'm done? Notice my final answer has 1a and 1b. Whole numbers are simplified, or fractions are simplified, and no negative exponents. We'll get to that later. Over here, I had one x and one y when I was all done. Right? I can't stop up here because I have two a's. Okay, let's do another one. Ooh, this is a your turn. So, you do it, and then, I'm sorry, pause the video, you do it, and then come back for the answer. Okay, there's my final simplified answer. In this one, my bigger exponents were both on the bottom, so both of my bases went to the bottom. All right, moving on. Oh, is that it? No, that's not it. We got 0 exponents and negative exponents. 0 exponents, super easy squeezy. Anything to the 0 power is 1, so you want to write that down here. So b to the 0 equals 1. All of this to the 0 power equals 1. X to the 0 equals 1. 473 to the 0 equals 1. You get the idea? Anything to the 0 power equals 1. And then we're going to talk about negative exponents at the same time. So negative exponents are not allowed in a final simplified answer. So we're not simplified until we get rid of our negative exponents. Same thing with 0 exponents. Those have to be gone to be fully simplified. So what happens when we have a negative exponent? How do we make it positive? Take the reciprocal. Or if it's on the top, which you think about this is on the top, we move it to the bottom. So here's my little trick for this. I'll show you over here on this example. 4 to the negative 1. 4 is negative, right? So pretend it's in an apartment building. It's on the second floor. We send it down to the first floor and then it becomes positive. This becomes 4 to the positive 1. So it's upstairs, it's feeling negative, kind of in a bad mood, goes downstairs to visit its friend and becomes positive. X to the negative 2, send it to the bottom floor, it becomes positive. I'm going to add another example here. What if I have 1 over x to the negative 3? Okay, so now it's on the first floor in the apartment building. If we want it to become positive, we got to send it up to the second floor. This goes up, becomes positive. This is a pretty common mistake. 5 to the negative 1, and then students put equals negative 5. They're multiplying them. This is not true. 5 to the negative 1 equals 1 over 5. Okay, let's look at some of these. X to the negative 3. So let's turn it into a fraction, and then let's send it. It's on the top of the fraction, it's in the numerator. Send it to the bottom. Negative 3 becomes positive. Okay, let's put all of this in a fraction here and see what happens. Whenever I have negative exponents, I automatically turn them into a fraction because I know I have to take a reciprocal. And if I don't have a bottom, I add one. So 5 is okay right where it is. That can stay right where it is. We want to look at it in individual parts. So 5 stays. A to the negative 2. A's got to become positive. Send it downstairs, make it happy. B to the 0 becomes 1. Okay, so I could just write this as 5 over a squared. Yeah, let's try another one. Oh, I see negative exponents. I'm going to turn it into a fraction. Negative 4 is okay. It's only grumpy and needs to move if it has a negative exponent. So a to the negative 7 needs to move. B to the negative 3 needs to move. So I'm fully simplified. No negative exponents, 1a, 1b. These are yours. Pause the video. Try them, come back, check your work. Okay, There are the solutions. See how you did. Okay, now this just gets uglier. We're just combining more stuff. Once again, whenever I see negative exponents, I put equals and a fraction. 6 divided by 3 is 2. A to the 0 is 1. A to the negative 2, I need to send it up and make it positive. So I ended up with nothing in my denominator, so I can just write this as 2a squared. Okay, but you never know, so I just turn it into a fraction. I can always take away the denominator later if it turns out to be 1. Okay, make a big fraction here. I feel like we're going to need a big one. So tackle your coefficients first. Simplify the fraction 4 over 6. That simplifies to 2 over 3. Now, two different ways to approach this. I could do my division. So I could circle my bigger exponent. Remember, negative 2 is bigger than negative 5, and I could do division. I personally prefer to get rid of the negatives first, then do the division. But I'm going to tell you both will work. So we'll do it the way I like it first. A to the 5th, send it to the bottom, make it positive. A to the 2nd, send it to the top, make it positive. B to the 7th, it's fine right where it is, it's not negative. B to the negative 3 needs to go to the top to become positive. Okay, now I'm not done because I have 2 A's and 2 B's. So I'm just going to keep working to the right here. The 2 and 3 are going to stay, they're fine. Now this is division, A on the top, A on the bottom. So I'm going to circle my bigger exponent. So I know A will end up on the bottom. 5 minus 2 is 3. This is multiplication. So keep the base, add the exponents. This is fully simplified. No negatives, no negative exponents, no 0 exponents, 1a, 1b. Okay, now let me show you, or, I'll say or, if I had decided to do my division first, I would still simplify the 4/6 into 2/3. And then I would say negative 2 is bigger than negative 5, and 7 is bigger than negative 3. So I would say A is going to end up on the bottom. This is where you got to be careful. Negative 2 minus negative 5 is like negative 2 plus 5. B, bigger exponent on the top, so the answer is going to end up on the top. 7 minus negative 3. So then I get 2. Minusing a negative is like adding, b to the 10th, and on the bottom 3, negative 2 plus 5 is a to the 3rd. So just two different ways of tackling it, but you can see you get the same answer. The only thing I'm going to caution you about this way is watch your negatives. Okay, pause the video, try those, come back, see how you did. Okay. Y to the 9th divided by 25, x to the 4th divided by 5y to the 3rd, and 1. Hope you understand why that was 1. Okay, that's it. So you got all the notes. You can start on your first homework assignment, which is in your homework packet, which you should have picked up on the way into class. Have a lovely rest of your day and evening.